Yes, thank you, Fana, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Jesse Austin, and I had the great honor and privilege of serving with the James Foley Legacy Foundation this summer as an intern. And one of the biggest reasons why I decided to do the Foley Foundation was because I was really interested in its vision. I had a great passion for it, and I thought it was very powerful. And it was no surprise to me that the vision came from such a powerful individual, and that individual being James W. Foley. James Foley was from New Hampshire, conflict journalist, educator, and humanitarian. He was well loved by everyone in his community and his international community as well, as he was inspiring people through his work as a conflict journalist. He believed strongly in a vision of a world where all life would be treated with respect and dignity, and that freedom of the press would be protected. And while he was serving as a conflict journalist in Syria in 2014, he was captured and he was murdered by ISIS. His family and his friends came together to create the James W. Foley Legacy Foundation because they also believed strongly in James's vision. And they also believed that James Foley was onto something, that there was an inherent problem in our international community, and that being that we have people being detained abroad and that there aren't very many programs out there that are preparing people for working in conflict zones. And that people like James Foley who are out there bringing truth to light ought to be valued and protected. And that is what the foundation started with their mission, to advocate for the safe return of all Americans detained abroad, to protect independent conflict journalists, and to educate regarding the threats to our freedom. And what's really cool about the James Foley Foundation is that they have a lot of unique ways to go about their mission. One of them is through the virtual James Foley Freedom 5K Run and Walk, which I got to serve as the virtual run coordinator. Basically, you have countries from all around the world who are participating in this race on the same day, but in different countries. But they're all united by the same theme: to remember James Foley and his vision, to spread awareness and advocacy for the treatment of detainees, and to protect the freedom of the press, and also to raise money for the foundation so that it can continue its other projects as it seeks to fulfill its mission. To give you an idea of the scope that the foundation's been able to reach out to in the past 2 years through the Foley Run, I want to show you some of the teams. From your left to your right, we have a team from New York, Switzerland, Canada, and China, and that is just to name a few. And I think to put this in even better context, I want to show you a map of the teams and individuals that I've been able to reach out to as the virtual run coordinator 2.5 months into my internship and 2 months before our October race. As you can see, we have quite an outreach. We have teams from the East Coast to the West Coast, Mexico, Canada, all over Europe. And I'll be honest, this was my most favorite part of this internship program because I got to interact with a lot of these individuals. I got to help them coordinate their race. And many of them happened to have known Jim, and many of them through the foundation. And getting to hear their stories really added an extra impact to the work I got to do. So how exactly did we get to this point? How were we able to recruit so many people so early? Well, it involved sustainable and innovative thinking, and it involved some investments. We started with investments in the workforce. We decided that we really want to emphasize team captains because we figured that having people on the ground and in their communities, building their teams was very beneficial besides just relying solely on our Rochester office here in New Hampshire. It was nice to have that direct point of contact. We also invested a lot into direct and personal communication, as opposed to just simply sending out mass communications, because we figured that wasn't as engaging to do that, and we figured that by doing this, we'd be able to increase our advocacy efforts. We also invested a lot in organization. We provided a lot of resources to our captains who would be running the races in their countries through a nice virtual captain toolkit, which was a nice step-by-step instruction of how to run a successful Foley race, how to advertise, and how to have a fun time as well. It was a real honor being the virtual run coordinator and getting to help in all of 3 of these aspects. And throughout the whole process, we did a lot of analysis and review. We figured what things worked and what things that we'd like to improve on and build on in the future. Moving forward, I say that this internship experience was very meaningful to me, and it is going to be the benchmark for how I look at other internships and jobs in the future. And a lot of that has to do because of my dedicated leadership team, Diane Foley, Amy Coyne, the Run Committee. You all were really great, really supportive. You really made me feel like part of the team, and I learned a lot from you, from your leadership, and just your passion for this mission, and it was an honor to get to serve with you for this summer. And I also feel that this is going to continue to be successful because of the growing support that we're seeing. I just find it completely amazing that in such a tragic moment that something so positive and beneficial can come in change throughout the world. And I'm really excited to announce that I will be running in the Rochester race this New Hampshire in October, and I will be putting together a UNH team here in Durham. And I'm looking forward to getting to talk to you all more in depth in the next session. Thank you.